So this video is about Satan. Why I'm doing this is because my voice is back. So I've mentioned in my last video, I had some throat issues, so I needed to take rest. But I just posted one or two videos with that throat thing. But when I was not even able to speak for the last 2 days, I just paused. So resting is more. So now, the main thing after the resting is coming with the most important topic about Satan. Who's responsible for all the bad things that is happening, like the LGBT and all those, the worst things happening here. I can tell you, there is something just happened recently in my place called Malappuram. The LGBT activists just came to our place and they started protesting. Why did they protest and how did they protest? They protested by, half naked, all those clothes, and they are trans too. They just came in with sari, the traditional outfit in India, and they just got half naked, showing off all of their belly and all those things. They just walked like this. Such a waste of thing, such a purely satanic thing. Why do they do this? They say their community is formed because you need to accept all genders, accept how people feel, and accept all the emotions and all those things, and be kind. Is this kindness? Getting half naked in the roads and showing off your belly, dressing like a girl, as you're born as a man and dressing like a girl, and you're being half naked and showing off your body to some school children who's been walking on the road. Is that kindness? Is that what you really do when you say that your community is of kindness? I don't think so. People have to be following their words, at least their words. If you're keeping a promise, make sure that you keep the promise. Do not break it. That's the thing. And the main thing why I say this is purely satanic is because it's satanic. There's something called the karmic retribution, which I've already mentioned in my previous videos, which actually say that. I just mentioned with an example in order to make sure that you easily understand what I mentioned or what the term is. Karmic retribution is something that saying that you are delivering something by saying or publishing it by saying that it has all the faults and all the damages in it, and if you take it, you will eventually ruin your life. Like giving an apple, poisoning it, and telling the consumer that this apple is poison and if you eat this, you'll die. Like how smoking companies just publish their ads. They just sell the product, and on top of it, they just mention smoking is injurious to cancer, injurious to your health, and provide cancer, and lung disease, and all those things. They just say this, and people still use this thing. Why? And the satanic things are really, really getting worse. How? There's something called the ASSC, After School Satan Club. Pretty funny name, isn't it? Yes. It is something that is formed in the Europe. You even have a website. I'll just share it in my description. After School Satanic Club. This is something that is starting from 4 p.m. to 6:30, I guess. It is actually after school Satan class. What does they teach? They teach that Baal is something good. Baal is I guess it's a god of transgender or something. Whatever shit that is, I don't care. It's satanic. Baal. And you have to, you should not hate Satan. Satan is something good. Satan is good. They are saying literally that Satan is good. And you have to follow that because they are teaching kids. Kids doesn't have the, they just grow the ability and algorithm to think. They just injecting these thoughts and injecting the form of algorithm into the kids. And they want the kids to start thinking like Satan is good and actually worship him. And when I say about satanic thing, I purely consider LGBT and all the things they do is purely satanic. Because if you're born as a boy, if you're born as a girl, you have different duties in your life. You accept that. That's what God said. If you're born as a boy, if you're born as a girl, you have different responsibilities. Men cannot be girls, men cannot be women, women cannot be men. Because they are instilled, obliged, they are designed in a way to do their work. Men can go to war and just win. Women cannot go to war and just win because they are emotional beings. Men are beings who, they live in a more fact-based world. So, it's extremely difficult to be a woman for a man, and it's extremely difficult to be a man for a woman. Until unless you understand these things, the things that I'm going to say won't be clear to you. If you're worshipping Satan, if you are completely an atheist, you might not get this, because these things was being said in Quran too, and in most of the religious book like the Bible and all those things. It is completely a sin for a man to dress up like a woman, and it is completely a sin for a woman to dress up like a man. By dressing up, the God meant living as a man. A man cannot fulfill a duty of a woman, because women are something, I told you, they live in a more emotional world, and they can only be supported emotionally and spiritually. And gender equality is something of a big joke, because I'll tell you, gender equality is something of a big joke because I'll tell you, it is because men can only do their duties and women can only do their duties. And of course, as saying these things, I completely understand there are single mothers and single fathers, and they take care of their child and they take care of all the things that is needed for their child and the family. And I completely understand this. But a man cannot fulfill the duty of a woman like how a woman fulfills the duty of hers. No, that's not possible. Imagine a woman raising a boy. In the most general case, the boy will grow as some emotional guy. By the ages 20, 25, 24, 26, the boy might, generally, most of the time, they generally grow as some emotional guy. The woman is something like that, the boy will also grow like that. But if a father, a real man, is raising that kid, that boy, the boy will be extremely disciplined and he'll be, it's like the old proverb, be a gardener, be a warrior in a garden rather than being a gardener in a war. So he'll be extremely be able to deal with stress and the difficulties as living as a man. So the point is, both can raise their child, but not as perfectly as they can. Because as I told you, women can only do their duties and men can only do their duties. If you're born as a man, and if you're born as a boy, you should live as a man. If you're born as a girl, you should live as a woman. That's how it is, that's how it should be. And if you want to break the generational traditional and all those things, generational chain and traditional chain and all those things. Go ahead, be a most failure in the life, in your life. Nobody is going to be with you. Nobody is going to coming with you to the day of judgment. That's what it is. And this is purely something designed by Satan. Satan wants these things. And I'm not being completely religious or something like that. If you have a brain that is designed by someone, or if you're born with a brain, even if you're an atheist, if you're born with a brain, just think about it. How the world is being going, how the world will be going if these things tend to happen more. Just think about it. You'll get to a point where the thing that what I am saying is real, what I am doing is real, what I just said is something very important. You have to react now. And if you just slip it right now, I just saw a video. Someone called the Andrew Tate, the bald god. Actually, what he said was, you are just walking into slavery. That is what it is. You are just walking into slavery. I'll tell you, CDBC is coming. AI is being programmed. Like, you cannot say the difference between a robot and a real man. You cannot say that. It is completely the technology is completely getting to its peak level, and humanity will be destroyed, like how Elon Musk said. Humanity is something not, the robot have. If imagine you are constructing a road and there is a tree in front of you. If you can imagine yourself constructing a road, and if there is an ant termite in front of you, imagine yourself constructing a road, and if there is a tree in front of you, which is considered to be the very old tree, you can just pluck that tree and replant it somewhere. Imagine if that's a robot, it'll just construct over this thing. It is not having any emotional feelings or anything. It doesn't have humanity there. If humanity tends to be in the way of a robot's project, it just go over it. That's what it is, and it is what it is. And if these things get out of our control, you just, it is actually, we are the last generation to enjoy all the good things if we don't act accordingly. Just do by, you're not doing for these things. You're not doing these things for yourself. You are doing this for your next generation. Do this for your next generation, man. If your kids want to live in a good world, if your kids want to live in a best way, act now. It's your only chance. Now it's the only chance. It's like he said, you are just walking into slavery. Everything is happening. Everything. I'm literally yelling out in these videos. Me, Andrew, and all those guys who want to, so-called the Matrix thing. I'm literally yelling out in these videos, and you just, yeah, these things are happening. I'm on a software, CDB is coming, and all this. Yeah, I just play my video game. What? Really? Are you really doing these things? Do you want to be in a position like that? It's completely okay. You can think about your future and you decide what you want to do. It is what it is if you don't react now. So, react now. It's absolutely the work of Satan. And, if you can see that, I just mentioned that you cannot understand the difference between a robot and real human. Okay, fine. I have some doubts, and my analysis and prediction have never gone wrong. Check the main videos of Christian Lagarde, you'll know these things. If you analyze a human behavior and human, the way of conversation and all the main thing that is supposed to happen in a normal human conversation, you just analyze those things in that way. In her video, Christine Lagarde's video, the European Central Bank's president, Christine Lagarde. Check it for yourself. And Biden, of course, he's some joke. After, if you remember, he have mentioned in a meeting that he has some issue in his brain, so he need to get a surgery, so he might stay alive. He got a surgery and never came back like he used to. The face has changed, the way he speaks has changed. He himself told that he's gay, but before the surgery he was completely against the homo marriage and all those things. And someone called the Bill Gates, the glasses, he got rich. Richer after the pandemic, even though he was a, so-called the software and technical guy. He invested in something called some pharmaceutical company, and also the Pfizer, Vanguard, BlackRock, all those things. You can check these data for yourself. It's already been exposed. You're not going to check it and know what is real. You're just sitting there and seeing all these videos and, oh, let me play my video game, yay. Who are we guys yelling to? We are yelling to you guys because we want you with us. We are already acting and you're just playing video games and just walking into slavery. We don't want you to be in that way. We want everyone to live in this real world, and we want everyone to be rich. We want everyone to be kind and do all the possible good things for each other and stand for each other. Just do something. At least show your support for the video or for the things that I just said. Until then, stay on.